So welcome to this video, and in this video I just want to talk to you about something which is concerning me greatly, and it disturbs me greatly too. One of the worst things that's happening on the planet, in my opinion, is the ritual abuse of children. Satanic ritual abuse of children specifically, which involves torture and many other deeply disturbing things which we don't want to talk about right now. But what really upsets me is the whole campaign, the whole movement to convince people that satanic ritual abuse does not exist, when there are thousands, hundreds of thousands perhaps, of children out there who are crying out for help, who could make a difference if they were believed, yet they are often just ignored. The whole case of satanic ritual abuse should be the most investigated crime in the whole of the world. It should be the most investigated crime. The crime of torturing and sexually abusing and killing young children, all for satanic worship, all for the dark pleasure of satanic practice. So I just wanted to share this with you, that it really upsets me, it disturbs me that all these children who have gone through all these deeply disgusting and disturbing things, that there is this tendency not to believe them. This tendency just to sweep it under the carpet as just some fabricated myth. Yet I know very well that it is not a myth. Satanic ritual abuse is happening all over the world, and it's happening right now. All you have to do is your own research. All you have to do is listen to stories from people who escaped satanic ritual abuse, stories from people who are involved in satanic ritual abuse. Listen to their stories. You can even listen to stories of people who are involved, previous Satanists, who are the perpetrators of such abuse. And there are many of them. If you research, you'll find the truth out. And I believe that if there's one thing that needs a light shone on it in this society at the moment, it's this situation of satanic ritual abuse. It is so depraved, so disturbing, and just to consider what these poor children are going through. One video I watched of an adult who experienced satanic abuse as a child said that it was like living in a horror movie, a real-life horror movie, non-stop. And we can't even imagine what it would be like. So I just want to share this with you because I know there are a lot of people who like to say that satanic ritual abuse doesn't exist, and that this whole satanic panic, as it was called in the 1980s, was just a load of nonsense cooked up by evangelical Christians. But those of you who do the research, those of you who know how deceptive those in the higher echelons of power and control can be, and how easily they can have the truth swept under the carpet, just by calling something a moral panic and essentially silencing people, then if you know these things, then you'll know that satanic ritual abuse is very real. It's happening right now around the world. Satanism is far more common than most people want to think. People want to think that Satanists go around wearing goth costumes and vampire costumes and heavy metal kind of dress, clothes. But Satanists, they dress like everybody else. They look like everybody else, they speak like everybody else, but they worship a different God. They worship the God of the flesh, the God of sexual deviance. And Satanism is rife in this world. And I believe that this is something we should shine a light on, because they don't want a light shone on it. They don't want people to scrutinize what's going on. They want the spotlight on something else, like a global virus that everyone's preoccupied with, so they can do their dastardly and disturbing deeds in the darkness, unnoticed, without any attention, without anyone focusing on them. But this is a commitment. This video is a commitment from me to announce that I'm going to put all my energy into shining a spotlight on these Satanists and what they're doing to children. It's horrific, it's sickening, and it's destroying the souls of so many innocent and vulnerable children. Now, I understand that a lot of Satanists get pulled into Satanism without really knowing what they're getting involved in. I've seen testimonies of people who just got into it through their parents. They were generational Satanists. Their grandparents were Satanists, their parents were Satanists, and they got brought up with Satanism as their religion. Now, this might sound extreme or strange, but it's true. People are brought up with satanic beliefs, but they don't share their beliefs. They keep them secret. That's what occult means. Occult means hidden. They keep their beliefs hidden because they're not acceptable. They're not accepted by society. You can't walk around saying you're a Satanist and you believe in torturing people. And so these things go on behind closed doors, under the cover of darkness. And there are many people involved who want to escape. There are many adults involved who are caught up in this, and they want to escape, but they don't know how to. So I understand, I recognize that it's not all a bunch of evil Satanists who are just preying on children. There are some people involved in this whole thing that don't want to be involved in it, but they don't know how to escape. So if I had a message for anyone who's caught up in satanic worship and the rituals that it entails, then it would be get out of there as soon as you can. Turn to Jesus. Go to church, go and speak to a pastor. Get out of there so you're not involved in these sickening practices that involve scarring children for life, psychologically and physically and emotionally. And if by any chance there's any children that hear this message, if any children get to hear this message, no matter what age they are, then I would say, do not fear, there is hope. There are courageous people focusing on this situation who are going to bring this to light, who are shining the light on these terribly dark things which are happening. There are people like me who want to bring this to the light so that it cannot continue. And we will persevere until this comes to an end. We will do everything we can to make sure that this twisted abuse, this cruel, horrific torture comes to an end. So have faith, and please speak to somebody. Speak to somebody who you trust. Speak to somebody in the church. Speak to somebody who loves God, and you'll be in better hands than you are now. So thanks for watching this video, and if you can do something to help, if you can reach out, if you can support people who are doing this work, I recommend you go to the website casra.org.uk. That's casra.org.uk. Go to casra.org.uk and support a man called Wilfred Wong.